Game Exhibit 2. Here we go. First up, Trail of Shadows Origin. Trail of Shadows Origin is, get that, by XApp Studio Group, and here's some gameplay. I was going to say, there's no audio. All right, so this is a quiet game, obviously, so I think it's safe to just talk over the audio in this one, since it's mostly just sound effects. Again, it is Trail of Shadows Origin by XApp Studio Group. You can find them on Twitter at Project TOTM. Project TOTM is what I'm just trying to say. It is a mobile game on iOS and Android. It is available, and it's free. As you can see, it's like a point-and-click style game, reminiscent of a lot of those ones that you would see on like Newgrounds and things like that. But
it's on mobile, so you can actually take it with you and play it on the bus or the train or the plane or the car ride to the beach.
It's also it has the music muted. The dev is in the chat, so feel free to ask questions of them. But that's okay. The music's muted. We just wanted to give you some time to watch it. The cool thing about this one, like in comparison to like a lot of the ones that you find in browser, is that this is I like the art in this one. It's a lot more detailed in this. I don't know if there is. Oh, you put up the
links.
All right.
Yep,
cool.
I've got it. I got
it. Beating me to it. I was like starting to send them out, and I was like, oh wait.
It'd be cool to go check out the music, so that way you can get a feel of like it probably provides a lot more atmosphere while you're playing, unless you're anti-music and therefore a heathen. Yeah. Did you guys play a lot of these games when in browser, and like does this excite you to have something a little bit more advanced and detailed on your phone?
I'm just really excited that that there is actually a game that isn't worried about sucking you dry of every cent and actually pushing you real fun content that also looks really good too. Let me just say that, like the art style, it's very unique, and it's very clean, and it's really 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 nice. It has better, like everyone who, if you're looking at this and thinking it's like, oh well, you can just play that game on Newgrounds or whatever, there are hundreds of those. It's like the art in this is a lot cleaner than a lot of the art that you'll find on the Newgrounds point and clicks. So
also I just realized Forgotten Dawn, who was one of the panelists from last year who showed off a lot of his music. His music was awesome, by the way. So that means the music in this game is awesome, because he is actually the one that did the music for this game. And we put links in the chat there for you to go check out that music on Bandcamp.
Thank you for re-sending those, guys. Yeah, I almost did it too.
I was first, so I'm the right one. Yeah. Beautiful girl. Anyway. So
I have to say I like the simplicity in the design. It gives a nice touch of realism for the environment without overwhelming, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that kind of really stands out to me, is that I'm not going to be, completely mind blown by confusion and
yeah.
Well, part of the thing with these point and clicks is you kind of have to keep it somewhat minimalist in a way. I mean, that's cool that they balanced it with the detail, and yet it's not overcrowded, like you said. But if you do make it overcrowded, then it turns into a like a I Spy hidden object game instead of
Yeah.
instead
And on a
of
phone, that would be very annoying.
So
if you're just having a phone toot,
a phone.
And
you're still trying to get that one going. Okay.
No, I'm not trying to get it going. It's just the joke now, Josh. Jesus. You don't want to be, fiddling around and like holding your phone upright. It's like, is that something that I can click on? Is that just part of the background? So I think they've really struck a really good balance with that.
So David in chat said the art style reminds him of Goodnight Moon, that children's book.
Yo, yeah.
And
I can see that.
Forgotten Dawn said they took inspiration from the Submachine series, which I actually don't know what that is, but maybe some of you do.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of that one. Let me look it up real quick. Submachine.
Oh, you do that.
Game.
Everyone's not even listening to us; they're just listening to the music.
Everybody's over at Bandcamp.
Cool. Yeah, I totally see it.
Yeah, I can see that now. I'm looking at it. That's a lot of them. There's 10. That's not a series. That's a saga.
Oh, it's a Flash game. Okay, so that's why they mentioned the in-browser stuff. So it's a point-and-click mystery series Flash game. And so to clarify too, that it's a free-to-try game, so that the first part of the game is free, and then you have to, I'm assuming, pay a full price, which is 99 cents.
99 cents.
What the freaking do, you cheapskates? Go buy it.
Oh no, 99 cents.
Yeah.
And that's we've been seeing that a lot more recently too, where devs will have the beginning of the game free because everybody the App Store is such a mess. It's filled with a lot of garbage, and so being able to be like, hey, play the game, try it, and if you want to keep playing, it's only $1, so it's not going to hurt you. And I think you will get more enjoyment out of this game for $1 than you would from the McChicken. That
speaking of
just gonna
McChicken,
clog your arteries.
Speaking of McChicken, this has nothing to do with the next game, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Next game is Boss 101. Enjoy. Hot damn. I love that trailer. I got a lot of during the registration process, I got a lot of emails talking about or asking like, oh, well, how do you what's a good example of a trailer that you might like? This is an awesome trailer. So if you were one of those people looking for like an example, check Boss 101's trailer out. It is by Donnelly.
Spent a lot of time on that.
Yeah, Donnelly Time Foundation, at Donnelly Time on Twitter. And it's going to be on Steam. We're not sure of the exact price yet, but it will be coming out pretty soon, I think. Tim's going to be doing I think, is it today or Saturday?
Panel.
a panel about staying motivated as a game developer. Definitely one. The dude is enthusiastic and embodies the indie spirit.
Saturday
Definitely
at
one to
3.
go check out. But basically, Bossa One is a shoot 'em up, bullet hell type of thing. I would say
with story and RPG elements and mini games and collectibles and humor.
Every time I see this trailer, I get super excited for it. There's a reason that this game won Most Revolutionary Award last year. It is definitely something worth checking out. What are you most excited about in this game?
To finally play it.
Yes, I really want to because I love shmups. There's a special place in my heart for shmups, and with the added RPG elements and a lot of the other game modes that he's been talking about, I think we've talked about it on the show, so we can talk about it. Where there's the classic mode where it's just a big boss rush because this game was originally released on Newgrounds for free for anybody to play, and then now they're making a full version with story and a bunch of other game modes and great, awesome characters, and I just want to play it.
Yeah.
I want to get through the entire story and then go and be like, all right, cool. So one gun, as many bosses as you can beat, and that's all you have. And that's one of the modes. Sorry to clarify, but that's what I want to do. I want to challenge.
Definitely go check it out on Newgrounds to kind of get a taste. That's compared to the final game, from what I've been told by Tim. That game on Newgrounds is very bare bones compared to it. But at least gives you a taste of what is to come. But you know what else is coming right now?
Well, before that, I also want to mention too, Trail of Shadows Origin is planning on, because we were just talking about it, they are planning on getting a Steam release in the near future, so stay tuned for that.
Oh, sweet. Yes, go buy it on Steam, support the devs. Next up, support this dev, Trial by Viking. Thank you.
Which is the proper use of Viking, because Viking is a verb.
I cannot say why they chose me. I am a Viking. Battle is what we know.
Alright, that was Trial by Viking. Sorry, it was a little off-center. I'm going to re-center it here. It's a different video player than YouTube, so it's kind of like hard to guesstimate.
Yeah.
Alright. And...
Oh, that's so intense!
It's almost like a dungeon crawl Donkey Kong Country.
Oh,
a little bit.
I've got chills. Literal chills, goosebumps on my arms and legs. Hey, that soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah.
Whoever did the music for Trial by Viking, you guys are doing it right.
I don't know what someone in chat saying that it was a little bit long. I'm not sure what, because I'm not actually a dev. So what is an appropriate length for a trailer? I would imagine it's
seconds?
less than a few minutes. Well, I don't know about that. But anyway, Trial by Viking is obviously an action platformer. Really cool fighting style, a lot of powers to use and things like that. You fight the mythological creatures, probably from the Norse mythology, I would assume, since it's Vikings.
Lots of big emphasis on mobility. This isn't just your standard Mario jump up and down. It's more of like a I don't want to say Castlevania, but
it seems like
I guess
slight puzzle-ish things to it too. I mean, it's got a lot of things going on. I mean, you saw there was like a one of those things where you have to push a box onto a button to open it to raise the water level, and there's levers and looks like
airstreams and all that sort of stuff. Explosions. It looks like different power-ups and spells. You also saw that you can play as a different character, I believe. That was a little bit later on in the trailer.
Maybe there's unlockables?
Maybe.
Either way, there's a lot to this game.
And you know what? I think that there needs to be a lot to this game because it is $14.99.
Yeah, it's Trial by Viking is made by Last Life Games, and on Twitter they're 0x Last Life Games. That's not an O, it's a 0, so make sure you get that right. On Steam, $14.99. And again, with platformers, not super good at them personally. However, the action part of this game, what the hell?
You know, there's a game that I've been playing recently that this kind of reminds me of, at least in terms of the mechanics behind it. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's just because it's the side-scroller aspect, but I'm getting a Salt and Sanctuary vibe off of it.
I can kind of see that. Probably not as hardcore as far as goes,
not as unforgiving.
Yeah,
but definitely a pretty
fun Viking dungeon crawl.
Yeah, it's available, and I just got paid. Tell me I shouldn't.
It is for Windows, Mac, and Steam Play. Like I said, $14.99.
All right.
It looks really fun. You know
what else looks really fun?
What's that?
Our next game.
Bombs and Zombies. That's our next game. Enjoy. So I'm going to turn down the audio on this one. It's a little bit of a longer trailer, so we'll just go ahead and start talking about it. Bombs and Zombies by Fat Cat Games.
Yes. It's actually really fun.
Yeah. I would hope so. It's a game.
People might look at this and be like, "Oh, it's just Candy Crush." It's not.
No.
Not at all.
there's more to it. First of all, you can find them on Twitter, Bombs N Zombies. That's an N in between the bombs and zombies. It's on PC. The price is not available yet because it is currently on Greenlight. So go, please, vote them on Greenlight. They need the yes votes. And for fans of casual games and like the match 3 style and zombies for that matter, this is more than just so one of our audience members is saying, yay, a Candy Crush type game. This is more complex. There are. It's also not King, so there's that plus.
Yeah. Can we say that and not get sued?
Maybe. Never mind. If not, fuck it. No, this is the mechanics behind this. There are so many mechanics in place. I probably spent a good 2.5 hours playing this. We did manage through Indie Game Riot to get some copies of this, and it's so fun. Yeah,
it's hard too. It's actually really hard.
I have never played a game like this in which I got irritated at random chance.
Well, with all the colors, how do you do with that?
It's not bad because everything is its own texture.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. And that's something that I greatly appreciated is that they every zombie is its own face, and that's there's multiple ways that you can match them up.
Yeah, and on top of that, all the different power-ups that you can unlock that actually show up within the play field. So if you get like 3 of a kind or 4 of a kind, or get like a not a full house, but a
full house.
It's a full house.
Full house. Yeah, it's a full house. With using the bombs to get really good combos and really good explosions, you unlock these things that if you explode next to them or onto them, they will destroy. You see a bunch of them on the gameplay where they'll shoot like lightning across the screen, or there'll be a big explosion, or they'll clear out all of the same color that you just destroyed.
Drop that nuke.
And yeah, exactly. And the gameplay isn't just, hey, get as many points as you can. There's some where they will give you a goal, and it's like, okay, you have to open this many crates, and you can't just blow up crates because you need to put the bombs in the right place to actually blow them up, and you only have so many bombs. And all of a sudden, this very simple throw bombs at zombies and get points turns into there's actually strategy. You want to be able to complete the the levels with more stars, because when you max out your stars, you get more scavenge options at the end of each match. At least I think that's what it is, which give you cool stuff within the game.
Why don't you ask the dev who is in the chat, Jesse Fatcat?
And if you have any questions, you can ask him in the chat.
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's what I remember from. That's what I remember from playing it.
He says correct.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. There you go. It is very fun. It seems like you look at it and you're like, well, is it fun? It is.
The thing for me though, like as far as casual, I'm not like a huge casual gamer, especially since and a lot of times when you think casual games, you think like mobile games. Right. I'm not a huge casual gamer. However, there's those moments where you just kind of want to sit there and just relax. This is one of those games for me personally, where you can just go level by level, and it's not. I mean, it's not like a brain dead game, because you definitely have to think, obviously, to beat the levels. Yep. But it's like it's not intensive.
Stressful.
It's not stressful. So I particularly enjoy that about this game. Anything else before we move
on? Check it out.
Vote for it on Greenlight.
Yes, Greenlight, please.
The link is in the chat. Seriously.
I've done my part. Have you?
Yeah, it is. Did we talk about this on the show, or were we going to? Or
we probably should on the mobile segment.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of fun. Vote for it on Greenlight. Get it when it finally comes out. It is a lot of fun. Bombs and zombies.
Not mobile. But you know what? This would be good. It'd be good on the episode. Remember how we had the episode where we just kind of did a mishmash of games that didn't really fit?
Yeah. In any of those. Yeah, I can see that.
We could do that.
I could see that.
Well, speaking of games that don't fit the norm.
Holy cow, this is by far one of my favorites of everything that I have seen all day today and upcoming for later.
Enjoy this.
Are we gonna say the name of the game?
This is Den Vänstra Hide and Stig.
Den Vänstra Hide and Stig.
It's coming out Q1 of 2016.
You said it better than I could.
This is actually an AI that's on a journey right now.
Uh-huh.
So this AI is on a journey to the top of that mountain to finish a quest.
Shit.
Okay.
Right? And that's all it wants to do in this world is finish this quest. So as it's going through the world, it's learning from that experience of the mistakes it makes. Right? You'll watch sometimes that it will fall and it will die. It'll learn from that death. It'll get back up, pick itself up, and continue on. Right? So if you allow it to complete its quest and to continue on its journey, it will take anywhere from 4 to 5 to 8 to 10 hours. It'll go through hundreds of different environments. It'll weather storm conditions, dungeons, and other things and experience it, right? But as you were mentioning when you walked up, the only way that you, as an observer of this journey, can interact with the AI is you can ask it to give up. You can ask it to give up, stop its journey, and start over from the beginning, right? Now, to do that, you need to sacrifice something to the AI. Right?
Interesting.
So this is where what you were talking about. So there's actually a blood sacrifice controller that I built for this game. So when you press the button to ask it to give up, it pricks your finger, it takes a droplet of blood that fills up the runes on the controller, and that's how you ask the AI to give up. Now, as I said, I want
That sounds so creative.
Thank you. So I will actually use. So I've asked the AI to give up. Is that kind of sad?
That's a little sad. You just kind of flops.
Yeah, he gives up in defeat. He forgets everything he learned, and he's going to start back at the beginning of this quest. Now, you may ask, why do you want the AI to give up, right? So, through the environment, you will learn about the story, the history of this world, and you will probably figure out what that AI's quest is. And there's a good chance that you may be uncomfortable with that. You may not want the AI to complete its quest. If you want it to stop, you need to sacrifice something for that AI. And in this case, this AI requests blood.
That's kind of creepy. That's kind of cool.
Cool. So the game's also presented 100% Swedish. It has a black metal harsh noise soundtrack that dynamically intensifies with what's going on in the game.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, Lexi, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. Yep. Yeah.
So that was Den Vänstra Hide and Stig, and you heard the guy talk. This game requires blood from you in order to play. It's very minimalist as far as interactivity goes. It's literally the game plays itself, and there's one button that you can do to interact with it, and that is to press it, prick your finger, fill the controller with blood, the custom controller, by the way, and ask the AI to give up on its journey.
And let me just say too, we had this guy on the we had James Short on the show, and it was one of the crazier interviews I think we've ever done.
Actually,
it's one of the only times on Indie Game Riot itself where I've actually been in tears because of how crazy this entire journey and this game is, because there is a story to this. It's not procedurally generated. Everything is specifically placed in this game by one dude, and there are thousands upon thousands of frames of animation. He's worked on making this AI, even though it's pixel art, make it move and feel and look like a human in your brain, in a human brain. And he was talking. I think the best way that we can describe this game is just tell some of the stories that he told, where on one of the press days for one of these cons that he was at, there was this one lady who was watching the game for about 30 minutes, and she the first day she saw a little bit of it, and the second day she's watching it, and she was getting really invested in it, and it's getting close to the end, and the AI has been crippled and hurt, and it's still trying really hard, and this kid runs up to the button, pushes the button, and then runs off, and she freaks out and actually gets incredibly mad. And the effect that this game has on people and groups of people, at these conventions, and the stories that we've heard from it are so incredibly powerful. The simple premise of it's a game where you watch an AI and then you push a button and it pricks your finger and then it dies. It's way more than that. And we haven't even seen the actual story. We don't even know why we're telling this AI to give up yet.
Yeah, and actually that's the thing too, is that apparently, I mean, you don't know because you haven't we're not going to spoil it for you,
Play.
but apparently there's a reason. I mean, not only is the AI, once we become attached to it, not only is the AI like struggling through its journey. I mean, it gets injured, it gets winded, it loses hope sometimes.
Yeah.
And because as it
so
plays, it learns basically.
It learns, but it also has mechanically it has a kind of a hidden stamina bar.
Right.
That and it can get injured, and weather effects can run you over, and there's all of this stuff that's in play, and
every time it dies, it learns from it dying. So when it goes back through again, it says, "Oh, okay, well, this didn't work last time. Let me try a different approach."
There was another story that James talked about where while he was working on the game, he was watching it, and there was this one point where the AI got to a point where it didn't have enough stamina or whatever to pull itself up this ledge, and so instead of even trying anymore, it was just killing itself and killing itself and killing itself for like 15 minutes, and he realized that he was watching the AI just give up on itself and just keep going on this loop. And I guess I think he may have coded that out, but if that's still in the game, there's another reason for you to push that button, is to give the AI another chance. He was saying 4 hours.
Yeah, I think if you were to just let it go and play itself without interrupting it, it would take about 4 hours for it to get to the end. But apparently, at the end, there's reason to want it to not see the end. Apparently, possibly depending on you. So it's I don't know. The game is crazy, and the fact that you actually have to give blood to your controller.
And you don't have to give blood. It's like an arcade button with a hole in it, and then he has instructions on how to put the needles in it.
And if you do it, there's rooms on the controller that the blood will actually fill up.
Yeah. And
depends
we've
how
seen the
hardcore
controller.
you
It's very, very cool. He's thinking about trying to get it to the public. But
at least on a limited run,
yeah, and he was also talking about Kickstarter for it, where it's going to be an option where a certain number of them will be sold for. I can't remember the price, but it was less than a standard controller.
It's going to be
costs now. I think it was like under it's under $60. That's all I can say. I don't have any full, but that's what he's aiming for. Definitely check it out. It's very different.
So
Jesse, it wipes the AI's memory and starts it over at the beginning.
Being it's kind of dangerous. That's why he doesn't actually provide the needle to do it, just instructions. Yeah. I'm sure there might be some sort of disclaimer too. Yeah. And of course, he didn't do that at the convention. It was just a button because sanitary issues. So
yeah.
So anyway, we're gonna move on to the next game. The next game is
speaking of sanitary issues.
The Count Lucanor. Enjoy a couple minutes of gameplay of this. So I'm actually going to turn down the volume here. Basically, the Count Lucanor is a game about the world's biggest asshole of a kid.
Yeah, fuck that kid.
I actually started doing a let's play of this, and like this kid just does not appreciate his mom at all. He literally is just he might as well just been like, screw you, mom, and left, and then the mom chased after him. Here, take all the money and food I have because I'm a good mother. Thanks, asshole. You know what I mean? That's basically what this kid does.
But that's not what the game is about, Josh.
No.
This game is a...
He's a 10-year-old who thinks he's an adult, so he's mad that he can't have good things on his birthday because his family's poor, and he goes in search of fortune and adventure. He does so, and it becomes quickly a horror game.
Yeah.
With a lot of dark comedy strewn about. Let me see if I can actually fast forward a little bit.
Skip ahead and show some of the scary stuff.
Yep.
Here
we go.
It's also very stealthy.
A little bit, yeah. There's some hiding mechanics.
You get into this. You get into the castle, and all of a sudden, the servants of the castle are roaming around, and you do not want them to get a hold of you. And you are looking for keys, and you have to go through puzzles in different rooms and get items and interact with these horrific creatures. And it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, and you have to. When candles, because he just picks up some candles. When you first get candles, you're like, all right, cool, candles. But then it shows you, it's like, hey, you have to place them down so you can actually see around corners, so you don't, so you don't stumble upon a monster and get your face ripped off.
Just so everyone knows, there is a giveaway for the Count Lucanor. One, it is actually part of the big giveaway, but also there is enough for giveaways right now. So go ahead and vote yes if you would like to be considered for that. And here's the horror part, by the way. These goats are freaky as shit. So this is actually a really, it's so underrated.
Yeah, it's great. This game is so good.
Yeah. Really interesting characters. There's like a naked dude that turns into a pig and turns back into a human, but he acts like a pig still, and he's kind of gross. And he farts. There's a part in the game where you can try and trade him corn, and then in return, you're like, what do I get in return? And he's like, let me see. Do you want a fart? Literally. Yeah. It's weird.
That's all he has.
Weird
He's
stuff.
a pig.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of fun, and the save mechanic is really cool. It reminds me of the
screwed me over so many times.
Oh, it's a lot like the ink ribbons from the old Resident Evil games, where you have coins, and the only way to save your soul is to throw a coin into the fountain, and then the raven saves your soul, and then if you die, you respawn back that way.
This game seems.
It is absolutely terrifying. The music and the ambience and everything in this game are really spot on. They've really dialed it in. It's a lot of fun. It's absolutely terrifying. It's great. This game rocks.
$9.99 on Steam.
Yep.
And
it's Windows, Mac, and Steam Play. Baroque Decay Games.
And on Twitter, it's at Baroque Decay. Very cool game. Very interesting. I highly suggest you go get it. Now, before we move on to the next game, I will go ahead and pick a couple of winners. Here we go.
The winners are drawn. And
Jesse Fat Cat.
Congratulations.
And Horatio. I'm assuming it's Horatio TFH. You are the winners. I will whisper your codes.
Horatai. It's
soon.
Horatai of the Forsaken.
Oh, well, excuse freaking me, man.
That's one of my brothers, so.
Oh, all right. Cool. Enjoy the games once I whisper the...
It's very fun. Install it after IRX.
All right.
Or during.
You won't be able to pay attention here.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
So last game coming up is Goofy Monsters. Enjoy the gameplay.
Double hit games.
Here. All right, and just a reminder to everyone for future giveaways and things like that, you do need to join the chat, like sign in or sign up and sign in, that sort of stuff. Anyway, Goofy Monsters is by Double Hit Games. It is a mobile game. Currently, no price available. It is not out yet, but keep an eye out for it. This is a what would you call this kind of game? It's like a floor
Casual puzzle game.
Well, yeah, no.
Yeah,
no
floor slidey.
it's like a slider puzzle.
Yeah, slider puzzle.
Yeah.
You basically are trying to get the monsters into their little. I'm just gonna call them their crypts, so they can sleep and stop bothering everybody. And there are obstacles and traps and all these other things, and you got to get all your monsters into where they need to be. It's just a simple, casual, fun little game. I think the art really sells it. It's very cute.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
It's this is one of those if you don't know what we're talking about as far as floor slidey puzzle, I mean you can see it on the thing, but if you played Pokemon, there's like that ice level where you basically have to go slide across, and you won't stop sliding until you hit something or fall off the map or something like that, and you have to make your way across the room, or in this case, collect the different
I think the thing that I like about this is it's taken something that it becomes a mini game in like larger scale games. Like there's a very similar puzzle in Vidar that has the same mechanic, and they've basically taken just that one mechanic and focused an entire experience into it. And I really appreciate that. Like everything about this game just says, oh, it's nice and fun. Like the soundtrack is lilting, for lack of a better word, and just I don't know. It looks like a lot of fun. And it's not out yet, correct?
Not yet.
No,
not yet. Okay, but soon.
Soon.
Yeah. TM. No, it's really great. It looks like it's been polished like crazy. It looks
it's got really good animations and good art in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's really neat.
doublehitgames.com/Goofy Monsters if you want to go check it out right now. And of course,
at Double Hit Games on Twitter.
I said that.
Price to be okay.
Yeah. Way to go.
Yeah. Oh well.
It's coming. Okay, it is. It's on iOS and Google, by the way. So, with that said, I think it is time
it's
to
about a break
get
time?
ready. Yeah.
It's almost ready for a break. Make sure during the break, if you scroll down, there are make sure to check out the rules. Check out our sponsors, Tiny Build, IndieBox, and GameKicker.org. Definitely check those guys out. All of them are really awesome, and they've graciously decided to sponsor this for everybody, and we thank them for that a lot.